Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Revival League Season 2 Close Qualifiers Round 5. My name is Retro. I am joined here by Jaeger. Hello, Jaeger. Are you excited for these final matchups of the Close Qualifiers?
I mean, excited would be an understatement, Retro. I've been closely following along, keeping my notes about these games, and this is a relatively important game for both of these teams. So I'm gonna let you talk through it, right? Because it's just go for it, yeah.
Okay, so as you said, this is a very important game for both of these teams. These teams are currently number 9th for Guardians and number 11th for EKO ESPORTS. So both of these teams, should either of them win, could propel themselves over that 8th place, which of course puts them into the Premier League, the most desirable league so far from these qualifiers. Of course, the Premier League is the second tier in Revival League. And at the end of the season, it grants all of the teams, or not all of the teams, but the top place teams, relegation rights to go straight into the Champions League, which is, of course, the top league in Revival. So that is the one that most of the teams are shooting for. And with both of these teams being so close to that cutoff line of that top 8, this is going to be a very, very important match. And with this being a sort of mid-level map as well, it's Oregon, so it's not worst or the best for either team. They've both won. They've both lost on this map before. I think we could be in for a really good match and a really long one at that.
I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. Like you said, both teams have won and lost it. They've tasted defeat and also the sweet, sweet drop of victory on this map. So it's a flip of a coin, it's Oregon. It's always going to be very close. The defense is always going to win among rounds, most of the time at least. And you're going to see both these teams usually win 4 rounds on the defense and then switch over, and it's going to go close down to the wire. It's usually these attacks that decide these kind of games. And you can see already, I was going to say the Maverick is coming out on this basement, which is really very questionable. I think it was just expected at top floor coming out, but something else that's pretty interesting, Retro, is the Glass. Now, I have very mixed feelings about Glass as an operator in general, but he is very good in very niche scenarios. But the fact that you're not bringing him any smoke, I mean, of course you have this Capital smokes and he can bring his own. He needs a lot of utility to make himself work. The more utility you give a Glass, the better he can be for a team. And the fact that you're not really giving him much is going to be very interesting. I mean, if the Captain gets picked off, he becomes, I'm not going to say basically, but yeah, almost useless because, of course, he's going to be bringing those nades instead of those smokes as they're more high value. On the defensive side, obviously, you have some of the more common picks, the Goyo, to slow down the time, of course, the Warden. And it's going to be, I'm interested to see if it's going to be a rush or not.
I couldn't have said it better as well. But it looks like it could be a rush here, but the C4 is already pre-prepped here from Vogue. Could be trying to go for a bit of a cheeky kill here right at the start of the map, and he will not get the chance as it's Breathtache with that Glass DMR to pick up the first kill, or that sniper rifle rather, to pick up the first kill onto Vogue, and now Glass's biggest and best counter, the Warden, is off of the map, and Rookie picks up the kill onto Panda. That is a good refrag to get so very early on in the round, and this what looked to be a rush does come to a bit of a halt as those smoke waves are getting deployed on this bunker door, and it is not allowing the attackers to progress any further. Pixel and Yogs staring down at that double door, not letting them get any more of an advantage.
True, they were doubled up there on the elbow, but it seems that the Goyo of Pixel has rotated back. But something interesting is that the Warden is dead, which means that the Glass can take advantage of the smokes, but unfortunately there's no smokes left because the Capital was the person who was taken away. That is not the best. So, the entire concept of a smoke and a Glass having, a fight with the Warden is not going to happen. But you can see it's going to still be taking use of that smoke, the scope, sorry, and it has a bit of a longer range, but Pixel there picks up the kill onto Chaos. That's her Maverick down as a set of flashes away to burn, but Gemis, elsewhere on the map, does get a nade kill as well. As you can see, he's pushed up, got the elbow shield down, does get another kill as well. He's going to slow down to a halt, wait for his team to push up here. As Rookie, he's going to see if he can pick up this Glass, who's still outside that blue double door, see if he can get any kind of leverage onto this position here, but no one's really trying to make a move. You can see Pixel as well. Going to get an angle, see if he can bait out this Iana, who was tucked up behind that elbow shield or where it was before, but you can see the drones are now coming out from Gardens Alpha. They don't want to take any chances with this round. the Goyo is gonna get drawn out, but no, the Goyo shield, the mute jammer is gonna basically stop that in its tracks. But you can see the Gemini suits there, the few more drones, they have a lot of time here to play. So that is the one advantage that Guardians Alpha have, but I'm not sure if they're aware of this Jaeger's positioning. Rookie, he might take the first fight, and he does come into contact with Zofia, but a bunch of missed shots, nothing to show for it. Pixel, he's gonna be holding this elbow angle, make sure that nothing goes on over there, but Darmian does get the pick onto Rookie, and now it's all onto Pixel. What can he do down here?
All right, going down 1 versus 3. He swings out onto Pillar. He gets one to plant. Planter gets off of it, and it's Breathtaking. Gets the first and gets the final kill of the round. Guardians put themselves on the board, and something that you mentioned all the way back in prep phase is that typically the defense will end up winning these first few rounds, especially in Oregon, one of the most defensive-sided maps. That site, one of the most defensive-sided sites in the game, let alone on the map. But something that we neglected to mention is that Guardians Alpha have a really, really good record of winning on attack. And I think that we might see that come again, of Guardians Alpha just tearing through these attack rounds and really showing EKO what they're made of.
True, like you said, not the best start, especially when you lose that first round. This basement side, like you said, one of the most defender-sided sites in the entire game. So especially when you're gonna go down here as the first site, usually try to get a bit of momentum to get the first round in. So losing that is not optimal in any scenario. And you gotta remember as well, Guardians, they tried to rush in. They had an entire plan set up, but they lost the captain really early on, and they had to, get that round out from scraps. And they managed to get that done, and that is a really important round. Now you can see here that Guardians are going to run exactly the same strat here. They're running this Maverick, and this on Retro, this puts me back, if you remember watching in SI, I think it was Scars, they were running, I think it was on Clubhouse, the CC balcony, where they smoked out the reinforcement and had a little Maverick hole go across, and then the glass was just having a look through to see if he can get anything. And I wonder if something similar is trying to be cooked up here by Guardians, but I'm not really sure exactly what wall could that be. I mean, maybe the elbow wall. It'll be interesting to see, but they're gonna do basically the exact same thing they did last round, and it's just watch and see what exactly happens.
Yeah, they're gonna be running the exact same lineup, but so are EKO, with the only difference being Pixel, instead of picking up onto that Goyo, picking up the Wamai instead, of course, to help protect against those grenades, which we saw pick up a kill in the last round. And of course, now knowing that they are running a double set of grenades, as well as a lot of those flashes in the pocket of Chaos as well, they are trying to deny as much of that projectile utility as possible. And of course, you might know that the Capital bolts don't get caught by Jaeger's ADSs, but they do get caught by Wamai's magnet. So that's going to be another utility dump here for Guardians Alpha, and it might just be the one thing that stops them. But Pixel taking a lot of damage early on, not really sure where that was from, but it's a bit of a stalemate here between both of these teams. It's Rete that gets a little bit too aggressive, and it's Vogue that picks up the scraps of that swing and picks up another one as Gemis tries to walk in. Rookie on the other side takes down Damien. Chaos finally picking up a refrag, but is it too little too late? Pixel is at the moment downed but not out. I don't think he's going to be retrievable at the moment. Smoke Babes are coming out, and Chaos picks up Pixel, finally finishes him off, but it's Yogs and then Rookie to finish them off. EKO fight back, put the round on the board, and not much action really happened. It was sort of just kill, 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 and then the round was over. It was a bit of a misplay there from Guardians to just get so aggressive on a lot of those angles and not really have the cover needed to make sure that Vogue can't get those easy kills.
Yeah, like you said, the adaptation from the Wamai was really, really good. They basically read into what the strat was, and Guardians Alpha, they didn't really change anything, so EKO didn't have to worry about anything new, and the aggressive plays coming out from Woke as well as the Wamai there on Pixel. It was a walk around, they basically knew what Guardians were gonna do and adapted to it really well. So now they're gonna go upstairs onto this kid's bomb side. Pretty normal bomb side. I just noticed that Solus is unbanned. Now, she's usually a really, really strong operator, someone that gets banned almost immediately, especially on a map like Oregon as well, where the pre-placed drones can be so strong to cut off entire lines of sight on the map. The fact that she slipped through is very, very interesting to see. I mean, obviously you have the Zami ban, but the Clash ban from the side of Guardians, I'm not really sure exactly what that's about. Maybe they know some that EKO love to play Clash. I'm not really familiar with their game. It's one of those memes, if you've ever seen them, I'm not really familiar with the game. And then,
yeah.
But yeah, it's the dock as well. I mean, this is really, really aggressive coming out from EKO Esports. They're running these guns, just trying to catch Guardians on their executes, which happened last round, I think. And you can see the Solus below going to try to get a taste of where the attackers are going to be trying to poke in the entry onto the building from and try to relay that information to the team.
Oh, wow. And speaking of that aggression, Damien gets very, very aggressive, or gets aggressed onto, rather, by a very aggressive Vogue on that Solus. And he does pick up one, and that's a pretty important frag onto the Zofia as well. But that's an even more important death there for EKO to lose that Solus so very early on. I mean, you said it. She's very, very crucial for that intel denial, as well as, maybe a plant denial late in the round. So losing that operator so early on is definitely going to hurt EKO, as well as not having a player on the board to cover off that roam, considering that the rest of the team seems to be very close to site, if not in it directly. So not having any sort of roam presence to cut off or to go for a flank could hurt them. This wall inside of Attic now getting opened up. Gemis and Breathtaking, I do believe, are the ones playing here, clearing up some of this utility, as well as pushing Yogs away from the position that he was playing inside of that attic pit, and with a cutoff angle as well from inside of the armory. Yogs re-aggressing here onto that wall, will not be finding anything. Halfway through the round, and it looks like Guardians are starting to set up for a bit of an execute here, with a lot of these walls getting opened up, as well as that push coming in very, very quickly from Attic as well.
Yeah, we can see here, they're going to start setting up, like you said, Decapitao playing on those armory stairs. I'm not sure if any of the EKO players are playing underneath, and you can see a Gemis on the kid's window, just waiting for a call to come out to maybe pick up a frag. And if he's swinging right now, you can get a free kill onto the dock, and that's exactly what happened. Yogs will try to swing for the refrag, but unfortunately for him, he's a little bit too far, spots the back of the Maverick as he's just pings in, but doesn't manage to land a single shot. Yogs is going to get really aggressive here. Iana, where are you looking? The smoke is coming to kill you. Somehow both players escape with their life. Rookie here on the bed, holding a decently aggressive angle as well in case anyone tries to aggress into trophy, and he might just catch someone out if they're not paying attention. The smokes are going to start coming out now. 30 seconds left. They know at least one person's playing drop in pit. Yogs misses a lot of the shots. Iana goes prone as soon as she drops. She's going to be the linchpin here. If she gets caught, it'll be very, very bad. But Gemis does manage to get Yogs. And you can see here the mute of Oik does manage to get one, but gets traded up immediately. Now it's all on to Rookie. He was playing by the bed. What can he get done here? The Prawn starts to get down. And Panda, with the crossfire, does get the round out.
Wow, that was a very, very good close round there from Guardians. They had all of the players that they needed. They had all of the positions covered that they needed to cover. It went to show that the loss of the Zofia so very early on didn't end up damaging them all that much. Damien, we've known him to be a very, very heavy fragger that has won the MVP title many a times for that fragging capability. So, I think a lot of people might have worried a little bit about how this round was going to turn out for Guardians. But they kept it calm, they kept it collected, and that Gemis repel on that kid's window definitely proved to show very, very strong, just because of how much it cuts off. I mean, we saw him pick up the kill onto Pixel, but then it also cut off any sort of rotation or any sort of retake possibility from the rest of the team, because they just couldn't get back into the site.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen pros and ex-pros say it all the time, make sure you shoot the glass off of the windows, because guess what, Rector? If the glass was shot, the sound would have come through the window. And then, Maverick, he couldn't have been playing in that exact position. His position would have been revealed. Yogs was playing pretty close to the window. He would have been found out. Just like this drone is about to be found out here. That's going to be a -1 for the side of Burns Alpha. But it's really important to make sure... Oh my god, this util... You just love to see it. Solus shooting drones, some of the most satisfying things you can see in Siege. But... yeah, you gotta make sure you do your basics in Siege, and one of those basics, like I said, is to shoot out the glass of the windows, so plays like that can't happen.
Yeah, definitely. Teams need to be a little bit more aware, and especially because this isn't something that's foreign to Guardians. We've seen them do this before, and especially same player, same operator, same exact position. He gets that wall open, and then he's out there right away. So that is not something foreign. But here we go. Something that might be a little bit foreign, although not to Vogue, because he's been known to be this aggressive. He goes with that impact grenade through the garage door, or through the garage wall, rather. picks up the kill onto Panda, and now that's a kill that could hurt, as that's now this position of Armory completely cut off. That is a position that Guardians need to be able to pull off the same execute that they normally do, and with that position now completely cut off, and with them having to hunt Voke to even be able to retake it and maybe potentially have a go at it again, is just not going to be possible. And it looks like Yuggs is trying to trick the wall with the mute jammer, but it doesn't work, unfortunately, for him.
Yeah, it was a pretty interesting idea, jamming with the mute jammer. Sometimes it could work, but of course, the vertical was opened up, so I'm guessing it wouldn't have stayed on for long. But Panda, like you said, that's a Capitao, a lot of utility off the board already. Woke, not being caught on those plays is definitely a mistake. But Yogg is playing a more aggressive shield this time compared to last time. He's expecting this aggression into Attic to come out here, and it's going to be the exact same thing coming up from Guardians Alpha. They're going to open up a small hole and put some flashes through, but Rookie gets down. I'm not sure exactly where that's from. I think that's from the breach, actually. The one that
believe, yeah, the breach. But it's Vogue to find the follow-up. Another one. Damien going down. Chaos does find the finisher onto Rookie, but Oik the mute is still playing inside of that breach and is just waiting for somebody to try and peek him or to try to get a little bit too close to that wall. Gem is rotating back around. He's going back up onto that window. Or he might be... Nope, he's going back to that window. I thought he might be trying to go for the big window, considering that they don't have all of the positions that they need. But he's going to go back to that window and try and see if he can do anything from there. He does do a lot of damage onto Yoggs, not enough to kill him. And it's Vogue in this flank position that he couldn't do the last round. He is in the position to do it now, but it looks like Chaos is aware of him, or at least is just holding out for a potential flank up these stairs. And I think we could be seeing here a bit of an engagement here between Chaos and Vogue. Chaos aggressing first, and he gets the kill, equalizes the man count. 15 seconds to go. They're going to have to hurry this up or try to find something. Gem is taking a little bit more damage. It's Pixel on another flank. Breathtaking taking down Oik. That opens up another entry into the site. The plant is going down, but the smoke will get deployed. Breathtaking will find Pixel, and that smoke will miss onto the plant, or the plant will go down, and the smoke will actually find him post-plant. Wow, what a shot. He picks up the kill onto Gemis. That's a really important kill. He picks up the player that was playing on the window rappel. Another smoke babe will deploy on the trophy door, but Breathtaking has more than enough room. Wow. He has more than enough room to pick up the kill, and Yoggs was looking the wrong way. Maybe a little bit of his scope covered up the player, and it's Guardians to win the round after it really didn't look like it was going to go their way.
Ooh, a bit of a scuffed ending to the round, but of course, don't blame the player. It happens. Your tunnel vision, you expect a player to be somewhere, and you just miss someone standing completely still. Of course, the smoke was kind of disorienting his vision as well, but something I just wanted to point out especially was Woke. He's playing on the Solus, or not anymore, but he was, and he got away with it the first round. He got Damien, but the fact that he could get away with the second time on a different round on such a crucial operator is a really big mistake from Guardians Alpha. Woke is going to be doing something similar, and it's just really sad to see that they just weren't aware of his positioning there, which got Panda killed and honestly almost lost in the round. I mean, it was heroics from Breathtaking to just come in at Diana and win the round there, which was why they won. But realistically speaking, if she doesn't get those frags there, usually gets one and gets shredded out, it's looking like a very different round, because of course Gemis is on the window and the last player, Chaos, is on the plant, would have died to the smoke grenade anyways. It was really, really close. But it's a thing to keep in mind, and they did win the round at the end of the day, so they can't be really too mad about that. And as long as they keep, they learn from the mistakes. And that's all the season's about. This drone as well, jumping into side, not the best of ideas, losing your drone that early in the round for no reason. But it happens. You're a bit, you're in third gear sometimes, not paying attention. But once again, Retro, they're doing the exact same thing, and it didn't work out for them last time. And I'm really worried that it's gonna not work out for them yet again.
Vogue again going for that very aggressive C4 that he tried to go for in the first round. It did not work. This time the clone will come out, but there goes the C4, and it will pick up Panda. Panda's just so unlucky, getting picked off every time, and Yuggs picks up another one onto Chaos. That is the diffuser now basically in control of EKO ESPORTS, as they can just pull all the way back and hold the long angles onto it to deny Guardians from retaking it. Although that is a little bit tucked behind that wall, so I don't know if EKO are actually going to be that aggressive to take it. And at this point, Guardians are just trying to gather as much intel about these positions as possible to hopefully retrieve that diffuser and try it again on that attack.
it's just not been working out for Guardians Alpha. I'm not really sure what their game plan is there. I mean, they're stacking all 5 players outside of Blue Door. I mean, I'm going to cast this curse them now. I mean, I'm telling them it's not going to work, and they're going to somehow end up winning this round. But it's peculiar why they're not really rotating other people to maybe tower stairs or trying to get someone down freezer to just apply a bit of pressure elsewhere. Because as a defender, when you know everyone's coming from one spot, you're just going to have 3 people hold a different crossfire onto it and make it very difficult for them to come in. But you can see here, Yogs, he pushes up a bit too aggressively, the nade comes out, and he does die. Gemis does get a pick, and now suddenly the round has opened up all the way back for Guardians Alpha. The cracks in this defense are starting to show. Elbow control has been, given back to these attackers, but it's not the end of the round. They can still contain this kind of attacks. They still have a lot of angles for them to clear out, and they can't really walk in just yet. And a minute left. A lot of these Guardians Alpha players just waiting for one of these EKO Esports teammates to just peek a little bit too much, but it doesn't seem like EKO are gonna give away any kind of prize for free. And Woke does manage to swing and pick up Breathtake and brings it back to 2v4, and it's gonna be a very, very tall order for these last 2 players to win this round.
Definitely a very tall order, especially as Gemis is taking a little bit of damage there inside of the elbow. Damien getting swung on that bunker door will go down to Rookie, and the diffuser down for the count once again, and it's Rookie to pick up the final kill. Gemis, after being very, very explosive and maybe trying to open up a bit of a road there for Guardians to take that round, he does go down as well, and EKO Esports close that gap in that score count just a little bit, and maybe could even equalize here to put themselves on even grounds as we see the side switch on round 7.
I mean, even if they do get the round switch 3-3, it's not a bad half for Guardians Alpha. It's just watching them trying to attack that basement it just makes me want to scratch my head. I'm not really sure. Obviously, there's a plan there, right? They have a plan they want to execute on, but I just don't really know what it is. I mean, the My Disc adaptation was there. I mean, Panda, he's been unlucky, but he's been the opening death 3 times, especially when he's playing the Capital. That's not someone you want to be on opening death. It's really unfortunate. So I guess we're just not going to ever be able to see that. But another adaptation coming out from Guardians. They're bringing the Osa this time. But it'd be interesting to see where she exactly pushes. She's going to be on the double window. Maybe going to try to push Addict. Or maybe she's going to be on Trophy. Going to see what intel can be. Osa, of course, Retro is such a strong operator. Gives a lot of information to the attackers. And basically provides a kind of... I mean, it provides a wall, kind of, right? Like a Monty shield that they start planting, especially when it comes to executes, where you can just... make space where you couldn't normally make space and use that to your advantage. But we're gonna see it. I started talking about her, and she's obviously immediately taken off for the Iana. So
I didn't want to say anything. You were talking so sweetly about her. But yeah, they do pick off of her. And what's more curious is they were picking onto the Thermite, and then they picked straight back onto the Habana. And I wonder why they keep sticking with the Habana, because of course, out of the many hard breaches that you have in this game, and out of the 3 primary hard breaches for most teams, which are Thermite, Ace, and Habana seems to be not all that well suited for horizontal take. She's very, very good for vertical when you need to open up those hatches and open up some of those sight lines, but not so much when you need to open up walls to gain entry into sites. I'm very curious as to why they keep sticking with the Habana. I mean, so far, this attack has been working for them, but I wouldn't say that that's necessarily because they keep bringing Habana and opening up a very small hole into that game's wall. Maybe to prevent a jump out, a counterattack. I'm not really sure, but it might not work out for them here for the first time. But Voke, again, very aggressive this time, getting droned out. Guardians very, very aware of his positioning downstairs, droning him out, forcing him away from that position, but at the same time, forcing him maybe into a flank onto their teammates.
you can see here, Woke, you almost got a double there as both Damien and Panda were on drones. And I thought for a second, no, you're going to see a repeat of what happened a few rounds ago. But Woke is actually going to come into contact with Panda here. Panda gives his position away with the Claimer, but Woke, he seems to be more interested in someone playing on Armory Stairs. But there's no one there right now. He does spot the person, but Wan just misses him. He could get the C4 from underneath here if he does try. The timing as well, a little bit off. Unfortunate from Woke. The timing, his position is always going to be revealed as well. It's going to be a little bit difficult now. You can see here Gemis is going to open up the same wormholes. The same flashes come out to get the shield. Shield has going to be gotten, as well as the trophy wall. So the attack is coming along pretty well for Guardians Alpha. No people dead yet, with 2 minutes gone. I think that's the first time in this game. But the time taking away, the smoke is on the board as well. It's going to be it's gonna be a very messy execute. Let's just put it like that.
I think it's definitely going to be a messy execute, and I'm glad that you mentioned how low the clock has gone, because I was going to mention that if you hadn't. Jimis has rotated again over to this window. This time it has been shut out. They are going to be aware of this play happening again, and it looks like Yogs is aware of a potential push there. And the first kill does come out as Damien picks up Oik. That's the mute off the board. Smoke Babes coming out onto that trophy door. All three of them are gone. Woke does pick up a kill onto Panda. Pixel taking a lot of damage. Chaos in the meantime picking up a kill onto Vogue. And Chaos is in sight, going for that plant. Breathtaking taking down Yogs. And it's all down to Rookie in what is effectively a 1 versus 4. Plant will go down. He doesn't have a C4, doesn't have any impacts. None of that type of explosive utility for him to try and pick up an easy kill. Damien, on critically low HP, could be picking up an easy kill onto that, but he's still got 3 more after that to go through, and they are all playing very, very long angles and very passive positions, not giving anything away, except Breathtaking does get a little bit impatient at the end, swings out onto that doorway, and gets the kill. Guardians not only take the round, but take a significant lead on this half. Once again, proving that them attacking on Oregon is nothing to really sigh at. It so far, I mean, absolutely brilliantly played from them.
Yeah, it's like a tale of two halves. Their basement execute is very questionable, but their upstairs execute is almost flawless. You know, they have a checklist and they go one by one. They get everything done that they want to do before they execute. And even though time gets a little bit too low, it doesn't really matter, because once the checklist is completed, and their plant will eventually go down, because the smoke can't really deny it from his current positions, because he will get caught out if all 5 players are still alive. It's just a mesmerizing. It's one of my favorite things in Siege, is to watch a team attack and then do the checklist one by one and start with the execute. It's one of the most fascinating things to see, especially when you go into spectator mode and just look at what everyone's doing. It's really cool. But enough about me nerding out about it. We're gonna see Guardians now go on the defense. They have a 2-round lead on EKO on the defense, and they're gonna go basement first. I mean, EKO, they can't afford to lose this first one. That 3-round deficit, if it comes to that, it would not be a fun thing, especially when you're facing down Oregon defense.
Yeah, it definitely would not be a fun thing at all. And they are going to be staring down at a Capcan as well. No Brava on the board or an IQ to spot out those Capcan traps early on. And those could seriously be deadly, especially as they're looking to be placed quite close to site, which means that the Guardians are expecting them to get close enough to where that's going to be a problem. And from their current setup, I think we can definitely assume that they are going to be holding it a lot closer to the chest, not roaming all that much, which is similar to what we saw from EKO Esports, but it's not something that you often see on this site defense. A lot of the times, teams do like to roam quite heavily and force teams into this exact roam clear that EKO Esports are currently going for, mainly because they don't know what Guardians are bringing. And it's what teams do like to do. They do like to put up that big roam, but it's not something that Guardians are going for. And that is when those Capcan traps are going to get, ever so more valuable, because, the clock is running out. You don't really have, and there they go, taking out a player inside. I was going to say that's got to be inside of security. And that is their hard breacher off the board. That's their Habana. The heart and soul of a vertical attack is now been taken out from EKO Esports, and they're going to have to adapt like hell to try and find something to win here. Folk already inside of Freezer, getting spotted by those prox alarms as well. Taking a little bit of damage on that wall, and it's Panda with the swing to pick up the kill. EKO Esports are just falling apart, and we're just halfway through the round.
Yeah, the Capcan Sham is unfortunate, but it does happen to the best of players as well. How many times do you remember a T1 Pro just dying to a Capcan and having a facepalm moment? So it is unfortunate, but 5v3 now, it's looking almost nigh impossible for EKO unless someone can carve open this defense like how Breathtaking did those few rounds ago. It's going to be very difficult. Pixel is trying his best, but Chaos elsewhere gets Rookie, and now it's all down to the last 2 players. Oik does give his position away, opening up that double door, but it's going to be a rotate from Pixel as well later on. Going to come tower stairs. It's going to be a 2-man pinch, try to see if they can get anything going, but you can see here, actually, they seem to be both running to this bunker door. Actually, the time is ticking low. They need to decide exactly what they want to do, because if they don't, they're going to not have enough time left, and the smoke canisters, 2 of them just come out really quickly. It's going to be a very, very tall order from these last 2 players if they want to get anything going. 25 seconds left on the clock. Lion Scan comes out. As you can see, Oik is going to start trying to go through. Pixel does pick up one. And you can see Oik is going to try to go through, but the smoke was ready for it as Breathtaking picks up another kill. And it's all down to Pixel. Got one kill, but with 15 seconds left. Retro, I don't see him getting any more.
I don't see him getting any more either, and even if he does, as he does pick up one, that diffuser is called on the ground. He picks up a second. That's a 3K. He will have to ace to finish this round, but that clock is so low, and he gets stuck on that wall. Can't even try to go for that plant at the end of the round. Guardians Alpha take the first round of their defensive half, extend their lead over EKO Esports, and I'm starting to worry now a little bit for EKO Esports. They don't want to be losing any more rounds. They want to try and start winning here and now.
Yeah, I mean, something quite interesting. They brought the Flores to get rid of the elbow shield, and I'm not sure if they actually did. I'm assuming at least he did. But because he rotated to mainstairs a bit later on in the round and left that post completely open, so one of the defenders could re-barricade that door. And it's just something, if you ever get space in Siege, right? You can use this in your rank games if you're watching. But if you ever get space in Siege, you never want to give that away, right? You want to try to keep hold of it. And an area, especially like bunker, if you give away that you're in that position, you never want to let a defender just come back, re-barricade that door, and basically be like, okay, if an attacker is there, it doesn't really matter anymore now because it's barricaded, so he's going to give his position away. So they can afford to be a bit more lax and focus on the other areas. You always want to just keep someone applying pressure, make them scared, make them jumpy. You don't always have to peek. You just have to, make them know that you're there so that they feel that they have to do something, and that something could always get them killed underneath the round. But that's 3 rounds down, or 3 rounds of a gap for EKO Esports now to conquer, and they're going to be going upstairs. Now, Guardians Alpha, they had a really good record on attacking this site, and we're going to be seeing how well EKO Esports try to live up to that, because they kind of have to if they want to have any chance in this game.
Yeah, and they are going for, I was going to say similar lineup, but it's actually not similar at all. It's mainly just that Maverick. They're bringing in IQ to try and counter, particularly that Cade, to try and get rid of those claws, of course, off of the wall, allow Yogs, the ace, to breach that wall. Of course, bringing the Nomad to prevent any sort of flanks from coming out, but very similar to how they played it on the basement defense. Guardians aren't too interested in going for a very deep roam. We do see Panda inside of security, but that's still not that deep of a roam. He could just run straight up those main stairs or those white stairs and get back safely into sight. Breathtaking gets downed from these footholes inside of Attic, and it's actually a little bit ironic because he was the player running with their Maverick to protect against that exact same peak, and they're trying to pick up a kill on that peak. So it's a bit ironic that he's the one that peaked it and took a lot of damage to it, but he does get picked up safely. He is back into the round, and EKO Esports are looking to try and advance more with this attack.
It's an interesting setup coming out from Guardians. They've had footholds onto that main breach. Usually you see some kind of head holes rotate, but they have the trophy walls completely reinforced and have, of course, a trophy door barricaded. But you can see as the flurry of utility comes in to open up that trophy wall, the defenders are going to evacuate completely. They don't want to have any of that, and Chaos does get an easy pick onto Woku, just peeking a little bit too much. And now Yogs, they have a little bit of this map control, and they can maybe potentially go for this execute if they so dare, but they're still, there's still that C4 of Chaos. They still have the smoke grenades to get rid of as well, and they do have a lot of time, so they can take the time to decide what they want to do here, as Damien has managed to pick up another one onto Oik, and now this round's looking more and more unattainable. You can see here that all these players are trying to set up an execute, trying to see an opening in the side, but nothing is being given to them. Panda on the flank managed to pick up Pixel as well, and now it's found to poor Rookie and Yogs. You can see here, Yogs is just holding this angle in case Panda wants to swing as Damien on those footholds angle. Very, very interesting and nice angle. I've never seen that before. Very nice as Panda picks up the last one on the round, and that is match point for Guardians Alpha.
At this point, I'm just depleted. I had such high hopes going into this for EKO Esports, and I think that they're a very, very good team. But at this point, it's just looking so very grim. And I think if there's ever been a point to take a timeout, to take a breather from either their IGL or their coach or their analyst, whoever it is that's in charge of that call, now is the time, if not ever, because at this point they will have to be flawless for 4 rounds in a row. Something that have not managed to do even once. They've not managed to win 2 rounds in a row at all. Both of the rounds that they've won were on a very questionable, or rather, were on defense from a very questionable attack coming up from Guardians Alpha, and they were very spread out. They won in the first round, and rather than the second round, and then they had to wait a couple rounds while they were trying to battle it upstairs, waiting for it to unlock, and then when they could go back down there, they went. But at this point, they need to take a timeout, they need to take a breather. Something is going wrong, and they need to figure out what it is, or maybe not even, something is going wrong, there's a huge mistake that we need to fix, but just take a breather, slow down that momentum. Guardians now have put up so much momentum, so much so that they are going to a tertiary site, which we are yet to see on this map until this moment, and that's giving Guardians quite a big advantage. And I think if there was ever a time to take a timeout, it would have been now, because you don't want to give Guardians any more momentum. Of course, if you do, well, round's over, or game's over rather.
True, it's their backs against the wall now. EKO ESPORTS, they can't afford to make any mistakes, and now they can see the adaptations coming through. They have the Brava, like you said earlier. It's going to be very interesting to see how the utility is going to be playing out. And in their defense, or I guess in spite of their lack of defense, they're going to be trying to play on this third bomb site. So it's going to be pretty easy for these attackers. I won't say easy, but it's an easier task to attack this third site as well. You can see a Pixel just gonna drive his Bravo down inside, see if any kind of utilities there, but there's not really that much that he can take. He's gonna be trying to get these Maestro cans. That's like the gold prize that he's trying to look for here. But unfortunately, there's nothing really there on this side, and the mute jammer is gonna make it very, very difficult for him to try to get to the site. He does ping out some of the utility here. He's gonna try to drive his Bravo drone all the way around, but it does get mute jammed, and that is a loss of utility you don't really want to get. But he does call out that the site is clear, and it's all barricaded off, so they only have to worry about the vertical. But Damien, once again, gets a pick, and this time it's Rookie as the opening frag on the Ash, losing her life there. Not really the best. Oik on these double windows. Gonna see if he can get maybe a refrag of his own in case one of the defenders of Guardians Alpha are just not really paying attention too much, but no one's giving him that luxury. Woke, he's gonna come up those freezer stairs as well, and you can see here that EKO ESPORTS, they're really struggling.
Yep, as we reach the halfway point through the round, EKO struggling once again, this time not losing their top frag or a super important operator like the Habana, but still losing a man, and that's going to put a bit of a damper in their attack. And Panda's here in this green hallway, could be getting a kill, or could be getting a death. Unfortunately for EKO, he does get away almost unscathed, and Yogs could have had a very, very easy kill and a very good opening. Does not manage to pick that one up. Pixel taking so much damage from that vertical angle, that Alta doing a lot of damage, but Yogs somehow is already in sight. Tries to go for the plant, has to rotate all the way around. Oik going down to Breathtake. Here up on this wall, Damien, oh my lord, and that vertical damage is just proving so deadly. It's all down to Pixel, sliver of HP, 1 versus 5. Yogs is already shutting down those GGs. I mean, that's a bit disrespectful to your teammate, but Chaos does find the final kill. It's a flawless run to finish off this, nothing short of a flawless match from Guardians. I do believe that propels them into the Premier League standings. I think that puts them, actually they were ninth, so I think that win does put them up. But of course, there's so many matches still to play out today. It's round 5, the final round. I think a lot of matches are still going on at this exact moment. We'll have more coming out tonight, so everything could happen still. Guardians, who I do believe propel themselves quite far up those standings, could still end up falling out, just depending on how the rest of the matches end up working out. So this is still, not finished as far as Guardians go. As far as EKO ESPORTS go, there is now no way for them to get anywhere further up into those standings. And as we do get fresh information, Guardians Alpha actually propelled themselves all the way up to 3rd. But again, that is without a lot of these games being finished. So, they're still going to trickle down, and EKO ESPORTS end up 11th, which is where they started out at the beginning of this match. And I think that they're going to trickle down even further. So that's really a win that they needed. But, it is what it is. And it just really showed that, Guardians are too strong, especially on Oregon. I mean, it was just not much that EKO could do there.
Yeah, it was a strong performance at Guardians Alpha. A few mistakes here and there, but when you're winning a game that dominantly, it doesn't really matter
Yeah.
that much. And that last round, it was a bit of a slaughterhouse inside of the site, something we see so often not dealt with. There's a lot of mistakes coming out from the side of EKO Esports, but like you said, it puts them in 11th place. But like you said, every game is learning experience.
Mhm.
And even though they're not going to qualify this time, they can use this to come back
Oh
up,
yeah.
the next season stronger. So yeah, anyways, I think
But
that's all from us for this map at least.
yeah, I wanted to say that it's not so much that they have to try out next season. They will be in Revival League. For that case,
Yes, of course.
they will only be in Alpha League though. But the good thing about being in Alpha League though is that they will have relegation rights at the end of the season to go into the Premier League, and then from there work their way up into the Champions League. So next season they will not have to go through this really gruesome qualifying process of opening quals and then close quals and 5 rounds here, 5 rounds there. So many games, you're losing your mind. They will have a chance to qualify straight from the Alpha League all the way into Premier League. Skip all of that nonsense and just be in there safely from the get-go. But before we do leave you off, I do want to crown our MVP of the match, which I think at this point, just from those attacks on dorms that were so flawless, I do think that I want to give it to Gemis, just because that position of that Maverick on that window after taking care of that attic wall so quickly and just disappearing out of there cannot go unnoticed and unappreciated. I think that was definitely a crucial position for them to be playing. What do you think?
I mean, you said the words right there. It was less about he made a really good play, but he identified a mistake the defenders made, and then he was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, and then he took full advantage of it and gave his team a really good chance to win that round and basically repel themselves into the game. So I really like seeing plays like that coming out from players where it's not really about their own play as well, but also identifying the opponent's play style, not only just their mistakes, but how their habits, what they like to do, what they don't like to do, adapting to them and making plays based off of that. It's something not just in Siege, but in any FPS game. It's really enjoyable to see as a viewer, and as well when you work in the backscene talent as well.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm glad that you agree on that. But then on that note, we will leave you off here, but we are not done for tonight. There is still another game coming in about 45 minutes, so make sure to stay around. It will be me, joined by Ahu. Jaeger will be leaving us, unfortunately, but I'm sure they will be joining us later on throughout the regular season. So if you have loved Jaeger's casting as much as I have tonight, don't worry. We'll be hearing a lot more of them coming out throughout the season. But that will conclude this game. Again, as I say, we have another game coming out in 45 minutes, so make sure to stay around on the stream because we will be back.
I do not know as much about human relationships as I thought.
Checklist, got one more for the set list. Walk in the spot and I drop one track, know who the best is. Walk in the rave like checklist, got one more for the set list.
Tell me what's going down. I can't stand it when you're so shut down.
But now I want more, now I want more, now I want more, now I want more.
Tell me what's going down. I can't stand it when you're so shut down.
But now I want more, now I want more, now I want more, now I want more.
Tell me what's
Walk in the rave like check this. Got one more for the set list. Walk in the spot and I drop one track. Know who the best is.
Tell me what's going. Tell me what's going down. I can't stand it when you're so shut down.
Now I want more, now I want more, now I want more, now I want more. Check this, got one more for the set list. Walk in the spot and I drop one track. Know who the best is. Walk in the rave like check this. Got one more for the set list.